Welcome to the Crypt of Wax, where we cover the latest metal releases. Today, we are talking black metal debut from the Greek duo Vlad Spirit, Ashes of the Crimson Kingdom. These guys have been busy in many other bands, VT and Ungod, but I think this is the first time they've come together for this debut that was released, I think, on the 7th of this year by Obscurant Visions, cool label. I kind of know them through Warlock Corpse and Culturist, but this I saw this record doing the rounds on social media, Mike, and I thought we have to cover this because it's quite interesting. But actually, before we get into it, what happened to your face?
Go on. It's just it's just a thing I'm trying out. You know, I'm a bit like Nelly.
The Nelly plaster.
I just put a Nelly, but I thought I'd just move it sort of slightly more central.
Yeah, nice.
No. What actually happened was I was doing some DIY and twatted myself in the face really hard with like a mini crowbar.
Oh, fucking hell! No, Home Alone style.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's not the first time someone said that it's a very sort of Marv type injury to get.
Yeah, big time.
I think it's obviously just post-Christmas as well when everyone's watched Home Alone.
Yeah, it's fresh. It's fresh in the mind.
Yeah, it's fresh. Yeah.
Right, so for those...
do you know what? I want to have a quick look at this because you said about all the bands they've been in. I actually hadn't looked at what else they'd done.
Busy.
Do you know what? Do you know any of these bands they've been in?
No, I don't. But the thing is, when you listen to this, you can tell that this isn't like a first time attempt at a black metal record. They're obviously very well versed in the arts.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. This is like, I was surprised when looking at it that it was their debut, this album. But then when you look at the amount they've done, it does sort of reek of guys that know exactly what they're doing.
It does. So I guess if you're new here, welcome. What we do is me and Mike will pick an album off air, but not talk about it off air. We'll come on and discuss it here. So it's more like a kind of discussion rather than like a review. But I want to ask you, Mike, how did you get on with this? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I really did. This to me, this album sits in, that kind of the kind of stuff that's coming out on like Blood and Crescent, like the stuff that Taurus is involved with. Then you've got the is it Wergild, with like Krieger, those sort of projects. This to me sits right in that wheelhouse of those kind of bands, and I absolutely love all that sort of stuff. And actually, for me, this is right up there with the best of those releases. I think it might even be my favorite of this kind of ilk of black metal that you've got coming out at the moment. I thought it was so well done.
I mean,
yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I'm in full agreement. It nails that very early second wave, like Norwegian essence, but it also has like a bit more of like power to it. There's a kind of there is triumphant, and there is a lot of melody as well. There's a lot of melody in the guitar lines.
Melody.
Yeah. The guitar work on this is really great, man, because the riffs are like, they're evil, they're really icy, but they don't just rely on that. They do then venture off into a lot more melody, and I think it's put together in a really cohesive package.
I was really transfixed with the guitar work in this because it's kind of understated, because it's not like this thing that's overtly technical. But when you listen to what they're doing with like the melody lines, or this way they change the kind of chord progressions they use and stuff, it all sounds so effortless. Like it's so the flow is amazing between riffs.
Yeah.
It's just so very, very well done. I honestly couldn't get enough of this album. I've had it on pretty much constantly the last couple of days.
It's the songwriting in general, isn't it? I think is what flows so perfectly. Like what you were mentioning there, and I want to touch on the vocals as well. I loved the vocals. They had that kind of unique. They're not that wretched black metal, but there's that kind of like kind of
you got the strain in there as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
that sort of evilness. It's really good. He doesn't, and it's testament to how cool it is, because he doesn't really stray from that one sort of delivery. There's a couple of little spoken word bits that he does, which I quite like, and actually I wouldn't have minded a little bit more of that, because I enjoyed those bits when he injected them in. but it is testament to how cool that sounds. You're not listening to it thinking there should be more variation in the vocals,
No,
really.
not at all. Mike, I want to ask you, right, before you even listen
How about
to
the
this.
plaster, is it? Oh.
No, yeah. What happened to the face? Um, before you even put this on, did you know it was going to be good because of the cover art?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, although there kind of, but then there was also a little bit of could it be style over substance a bit? Do you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know
But
what you mean.
but I was sold immediately as soon as you sent it to me. I was like, yeah, I want to listen to this straight away.
Yeah, man. I love the art. I've seen a lot of people say the artwork's horrendous, but I think it's fantastic.
The art, what it's got is that, and I didn't notice it at first, 'cause it's got that kind of layering thing where you've got them
Yeah.
in amongst it as well. It's got that like I don't want to say cheapness to it, but it's
Yeah.
obviously been done. It's got a DIY vibe to it, hasn't it? And I think they pulled it off really, really well. It's very stylized and suits the music goes with it works as like a package.
Yeah. It does feel straight out of the 90s, doesn't it? Like the whole package
Yeah.
feels straight out of the 90s. It's really cool. I mean, this album isn't really one to go through track by track, I feel. There's not masses that
You
you
could have told me that before I did all the fucking notes.
All right, well, we can if you want, but I feel that there's not masses to pick out individually in each track. It's just
No.
that each song is really good at what it is. Like
Yeah.
there's enough pace changes within each song, and there's enough like kind of riff variations within each song, but it's never like, oh, 3 minutes at this moment was like a huge change that we need to kind of speak about. But it's just the kind of record that you put on. It's like what 38 minutes was it? No, 36 minutes, 8
Yeah.
songs. You just know you're going to get like front to back solid black metal.
And it really is that as well. I found when listening to it, I was trying to sort of work out my highlight song of it, and I put 3 down, but it could easily have been pretty much any of them. I honestly, every single song I really enjoyed on a very similar level to the other ones. I thought it was a really well written, no filler, no duds. Like
No.
it was all excellent, man. It's a real treat of an album, this one, and I don't know if it. I don't know how in this sort of style of black metal that they're doing and what what we probably will cover quite a bit of this year. I don't know if I'm going to hear a better album than this doing this sort of style.
Yeah, because it feels like the only way that something would be better is if they expand the sound, like if they start introducing like elements of something else, if maybe it goes a little bit more progressive, or you introduce a bit more dungeon synth or something to like
There
push.
was no synth on this, was there?
No, I don't believe so. The ending, the last song, "The War Is Won," was like an atmospheric ender that had the sort of
Yeah.
winds going on, and
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't think there was like synth going on. But yeah, in terms of like a stripped back, just like pretty raw, old school black metal worship, like I don't think you're going to get much better than this.
No, man. It's amazing. I'm trying to think of like records of this sort of style that I've listened to that I like more than this one. And I think that Fellwinter one a couple of years ago, but I think that this one actually might have surpassed it.
There's more. I
I
feel
could
like
just
there's a bit
listen
more
to it
to
front to
it.
back.
Yeah, I feel there's a bit
Yeah.
more to it. There's more melody, but there's also more attitude in a way. There's just more. There's something about it. It's got that powerfulness. It's got like the triumphantness, but
Mm.
it doesn't rely on that. It then goes icy and evil. And yeah, it's really cool. Mike, when you said you had 3 favorite songs, what did you mean? Track 3, or you had 3 that you could pick out?
No, although I think track 3 was one of them.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say, the ones that my highlight ones, and honestly, this is there was probably more if I really thought about it, but I had track 3,
Yep.
um, track 5,
Yep.
and track 7.
Yeah. The only thing I found with track 7, Tombs of Frost and Ancient Blight, the intro to it really threw me off because it started off quite slow and had like a quite distinct pattern to it. But then when the drums and everything came in, and it just shifted the pace
Yeah.
instantly. And I had to actually kind of go back and listen to it. Like, was that intentional? It felt slightly disjoint, and that was possibly the only weird moment on the album for me.
But that song, though, there was a darkness to that song,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more so than most of the other ones, which I thought were really sort of stood out. But the one of the, I suppose we talk about moments. This album's not like filled with like actual moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just this really great flow of songwriting and melodic riffs, and it works so well. But the moment that sticks out for me though is in track 5. I love the intro riff. It's got the double pedal, and there's this really nice, simple melodic lead line that goes over the top.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the most melodic moments on the album, but it sounds so good. And they bring it back in towards the end on Blast as well. And it's great, man. That probably, if I had to pick a favorite, I probably would go with the title track on track 5.
That song was definitely the most melodic, because even the verse riff, once you had that lead line at the start that was very uplifting, very melodic, it went into a verse riff that was quite simplistic in the way they approached it.
So more
But
like power chord type things, wasn't it?
yeah, but it was still, again, very melodic. There was a
Yeah.
slight tonal shift around 3 minutes on that song where they drop down a register and it goes a little bit evil. But then, like you said, they brought it back into that kind of uplifting thing. And I think track 5 was probably the most melodic track on the record out of
Yeah.
that. I think if I had to pick a favorite, probably 6 would be mine. Blood Moon Rises over the Elder Gate. It just had a really evil sense about it, but there was a really cool the drum work on that track in particular was really cool. It would kind of pick out rhythms on the bell that were like matching the guitar work, and I thought, for me, that was probably my favorite song. But like you said, either one, any song on a different day could probably be my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. It really could. And actually, just talking on the drums, the drums sounded like they were very minimally recorded. Like it sounded like it was like, one mic or like recording off a phone or something. But
Yeah.
there was still great clarity in the kit. Like you could pick out everything really well, but you could tell that it wasn't probably close mic'd or anything.
No, but I felt the production on the whole was very well balanced. You did have that kind of lo-fi esque, but it was like once you kind of got about 10 seconds into the first track, it was your ears completely aligned with it, and it sounds perfect.
It's funny because yeah, when I first listened to it, that you're right. That first 10 seconds, when you hear the opening kind of open hi hat intro, it sounds thin and harsh.
Yeah,
And then within like 10 seconds, you adjust. You're like, actually, the production's really cool on this. It actually really suits what it is.
yeah,
The first couple of seconds, I was like, oh, is this going to be, I don't want to say unlistenable, but not particularly enjoyable for a duration. But then once you're there,
yeah,
and you get there very quickly, it's like, actually, the production's really great for this type of black metal.
yeah,
And
man.
it's got that live feel to it as well. It feels like you're in a rehearsal room with them,
Yeah.
and they're like playing it.
It does. A lot of the guitar work has that feel, because there's moments when like one guitar will drop out, but they won't just cut that guitar out. You can hear that the guitar's just stopped playing for a minute and then comes back
Yeah.
in with almost in the same take. It feels like, which gives you that kind of live approach to the recording, which it all adds to the whole atmosphere of this record. And this is definitely one to check out, man. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably have already and you just want to hear our thoughts, maybe. But if you haven't, I strongly recommend go check this one out, because, I mean, Mike, it's only January. Are we going early? But will it be in the list?
Well, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say this, right. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot that's gonna happen in that sense, but I feel like right now, though, this album's gonna get a lot of listens from me this year.
Yeah.
Like I can't see myself not listening to this between now and the end of the year quite regularly. I was going to ask though, for anyone in the comments, I'd love to know, because they've obviously been in quite a number of bands. I'd like to check out some of the other stuff they've done. Is there any particular other bands these guys have been in that's worth checking out first?
Yeah, good question. Point us where to go, because there's a lot
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sift through. But yeah, that's a good question. And let us know what you thought of this record, man. Where it sits, if you enjoy it, amongst their discography of other bands. But yeah, if you got to this point in this episode, give a like. I'm gonna say it. Give a like. It helps us out a lot.
Like, give us a subscribe. He's changing his mind. He
But
wants you to do it now.
yeah, please do it. No, but thanks for sticking around if you got to this point in this video, and we'll hopefully catch you in the next one.